New rules reportedly on the verge of kicking in that have some folks flipping out. The National Labor Relations Board wants to make companies hand over workers' phone numbers and addresses to unions ahead of labor elections, and the judge isn't liking the sound of this. Judge, this is private companies who aren't unionized already. The NLRB wants to make a ruling that you have to turn over their phone numbers and addresses of employees?
There's two rulings involved here, Eric. One, the NLRB advanced about 3 years ago, and then it withdrew. And that was after the labor unions have been agitating for unionization for years and years and years. Once they request the union election, they get it within 10 days. Management has 10 days to undo the campaigning of what could be several years in advance. Combined with when the labor unions want to know everybody that works for a company, the NLRB is about to rule that management must give their names and their phone numbers. Now, and their addresses. Now, that is information that has been protected by the Fourth Amendment. The government cannot force anybody to give that away unless the person voluntarily says you can give my information.
So now let's talk about the NLRB board. Originally, I don't know. It splits between Democrats and Republicans. But you're telling me now,
I said to you before we started that it's all Republicans. It's either all Democrats. Forgive me. It's either 5 Democrats or it's 4 Democrats and 1 Republican. But it's heavily filled with the president's appointees. This is the same board which the president filled with recess appointees. He just declared that the Senate was in recess. They were actually meeting while he said this, but he declared them in recess, put his own boards in there. That issue is going to be resolved by the Supreme Court. But while the NLRB was filled with these recess appointees, it issued these same regulations which it pulled back on. Now the new NLRB, which is not filled with recess appointees, it's filled with appointees who were legitimately confirmed by the Senate, has made these new regulations that will soon come
Judge,
to law.
It's making my head explode. I can't believe I work for a company that's not unionized. The unions might get my name, my address, and my phone number because the NLRB is requiring the company, not asking, requiring them
Yes.
to.
Now, prediction, to give you a little peace of mind, the first federal judge to hear this will invalidate it because there are 2 Supreme Court opinions right on point about giving out private information. The government in the Nixon administration tried to get the contributors to the NAACP. The government in the Obama administration is trying to get the contributors to Ron Paul's groups. Neither divulged them, and the courts have said in the NAACP case, you can't do it.
Talk to us a little bit very quickly about something came down, some news broke today about Volkswagen. The unions withdrew their request to go after Volkswagen again. Is that right? Did you hear about this?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is just the unions facing up to reality. This is the Chattanooga, Tennessee case where the unions lost a hotly contested, heavily debated effort to unionize that went on for a couple of years. I think they've realized that they're not going to get anywhere, so they finally gave up the ghost. This is one that they predicted they would win. They boasted they would win. The National Union predicted they would win. And after a fair and square election, they lost.
Any question the NLRB is squarely in the has the union's interest squarely on their mind all the time?
When FDR proposed this, he said it will moderate between unions and management. Guess what? Republican presidents make it management, Democratic presidents make it union. This is the most pro-union NLRB in the modern era.
We're going to leave it right there, Judge. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Eric.